Well, hey, in the shop with me today, I got my good buddy Danny Agosta from Steele Rubber Products. Good to see you, Danny.
You too, Dennis.
You know, you guys are sort of the rubber gurus, and you make rubber for everything. So that's great. You got the rubber, but I still need to get that rubber and put it in my car, RV, or boat. I don't necessarily know how to do that, but I know you do.
Yeah, we just do rubber parts. It's what we do. There's 7 things that people find themselves as pitfalls.
The 7 deadly sins,
so to speak,
of rubber installation.
So one of the first things is whenever you're doing a car, don't throw away your originals.
Even if it's kind of beat up and nasty?
Our parts are made from originals. If it doesn't exist, you know, maybe that's something that we can do. But if you don't have your original, then we don't have anything to go off of. This is an original off a car. You know, it's a great example. It does not have to be in this good a condition to be worth saving.
So I'm not going to throw this away.
Right.
I'm going to keep that until I find that there's one, or I talk to you guys about making one.
Yes. The next pitfall you might find yourself in is not prepping a gluing surface.
Okay.
So this is similar to what you might see in a trunk channel once you pull out the old rubber.
Some of it left, some of it not.
Some of the rubber's there, you know, old adhesive.
Uh-huh.
You're going to want to clean this up before you go any farther. And that's where you're going to want to use some adhesive cleaner and a scraper tool to get into the channel and clean all that stuff out. You want it pretty clean. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the cleaner you can get it, the better hold that adhesive will have.
Right, okay.
Third thing is to make sure that your part fits.
That's a good one, yeah.
Let's take this trunk for example. If you want to go all the way around the trunk, which most people do, just do a quick test fit. Start gluing things down and then find out you're a couple inches short. That's going to be tough.
That's gonna be hard,
and that's even more important on some other parts. You want to test fit them before they go on.
So just make sure it's the right one, make sure it fits.
Right.
Okay?
So once you do that, you want to make sure it's in the correct orientation. This is one of our most popular seals. This is a trunk weather strip for late 50s to late 70s GM cars. And I can go to almost any car show and find a car that has this on backwards. And people are like, you know, my trunk's leaking, it won't close. To help kind of mitigate that, we include instruction sheets with our parts. That clearly shows you the orientation of how the part's supposed to go on.
This is right.
Right.
This is right.
The fourth thing that we'll find is once you know that you've got it test fitted, you got it oriented the right way, people use way too much adhesive.
This is a less is more situation?
Yes, less is more. One thing that you'll see is people put in a bunch of adhesive.
That is a bunch of adhesive.
You know, you start putting your weather stripping in there and it oozes out.
Yeah, oh God,
and creates all kinds of a mess.
Yes, it does. And the other thing is it doesn't adhere.
Right.
In that situation. You'd think it would eventually set, but it doesn't adhere correctly.
That's right. So you spread it on like butter and let it get tacky, and then you put the weather stripping on, and it holds so much better. Mm-hmm. Another issue that we'll see is people will actually close the door, close the trunk, when the weather stripping adhesive is still wet.
Well, you'd almost think you'd want to do that to kind of hold it in place, but that's not true, hey?
No, if you want to hold it in place, if you have a situation where that's appropriate, you know, use masking tape or something to kind of hold it in place. But if you close the door, a lot of time you get shear force.
Oh, sure.
And that'll just want to roll the weather stripping right off.
And then what do I want to do? Let it overnight type, 24-hour type
Yeah,
thing?
24 hours, you've got a full cure. The last thing is whenever you're rushing through the job. It's much easier and less frustrating whenever you just take your time.
Yeah.
Whenever you're doing something like a windshield gasket, if you don't take your time, you're going to have a real big issue.
Real big issue, yeah. And all of this, I mean, along with taking your time and everything, is that you guys have all this online. You have your YouTube channel's got all these application tips. So not only do you supply the rubber, you supply the know-how to get it in there and get it in there right.
That's right.
So that's Steele. Well, hey, if you want to learn anything more about the rubber for all sorts of vehicles or how to put it on, log on to steelerubber.com. Those videos are great, I'm telling you.